That was a horrible clap. Welcome. I know we're in like a completely different everything with a whole new cast. I sold my other people to the slave trade. No, I didn't, guys. They're fine. They're at home with their wives and working very hard, keeping us funded. Why don't you introduce yourself? We're gonna go from right to left.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rainy Medina. I am a professional race car driver, and I drive a BMW E30, and it's boosted.
Very cool.
All right, my name's Kevin. I sold my first car, which is a 2013 Mini Cooper S, and it's been good to me so far, so I'm keeping it till it's running to the ground.
My name is Max. I do a lot of cool stuff, and I have a cool Chevelle.
Sick. Great. These are all my car friends. I have a bunch of car friends. So we're just thinking about changing the mix a little bit, giving everybody a chance to be on the podcast. Not that it's huge or anything, but just something fun. So since we're all much younger guys, and young guys do a very specific thing, they all play video games. We're going to talk about some car video games today. Car video games have pretty much shaped car culture just as it is. Like, I can't think of one car guy that is a car guy not because of a video game, you know? So we're going to go around. We're going to talk about the very first car game that we can remember that we were playing that really, really kind of got us started on our way and influenced us the most. And then we're going to go from there, talk about other notable car video games and how they shaped music taste, car culture, you know, all of the stuff. Yeah. So I'll start off. I'll get us started. So the the earliest memory of a car game that I have is Midnight Club Street Racing. So a lot of you guys are familiar with GTA. And this was like well before Rockstar was doing like huge GTA stuff. So Rockstar North, which is like the purple Rockstar logo, which I think eventually became Rockstar San Diego. They used to do like video like racing games, and they handled like the Midnight Club series. And the very first Midnight Club series was Midnight Club Street Racing. And it's like this really old school, like very sandboxy, very blocky kind of graphics, but really, really fun. Not licensed cars quite yet, but it was really cool. Did you guys ever play any of the early Midnight Clubs at all?
What is it? Midnight Club Los Angeles?
That was the last one.
I was hooked on it.
That was the one I played as well.
Dub Edition also.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of Dub Edition. I mean, I will never forget like first loading up like Dub Edition and is it Manny Fresh? House real big.
What's the one that came before Midnight Club Los Angeles?
Los Angeles? It would have been Dub Edition. So we had Dub Edition and then Dub Edition Remix.
That's when you went to like different cities.
Yeah, so it had Detroit, Atlanta, and San Diego.
Yeah.
And then the remix version had Tokyo, and it was the Tokyo map for Midnight Club 2. So Midnight Club 2 was like the one that a lot of people don't remember, because either you had Midnight Club 1 in the early days of PlayStation 2, and then you went like straight to Dub Edition because Midnight Club 2 was like really, really hard, and everybody was like, this game is impossible. And then Dub Edition had like the Escalades and Dub Magazine and like all of the music, like from really, really good dance hall, really good techno, all of the hip hop in there, like really, like still on my phone today, like have whole playlists dedicated to some of the video games that I play. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the music that you see or you hear in those old games like totally brings you back. Like once you hear it, you're like, man, I used to play that game like all the time.
Right. And for me, like I didn't grow up listening to rock music, or at least like none of the like grunge and early 90s alternative, which was littered in all of the racing games. You think about any early Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Underground, you know, as much as they were known for like the rap hip hop culture, they had some sick like rock bangers. I think like one of my favorite songs is like Static X, and I think it's like Only or something like that, and just all kind of really, really good rock music.
I think the most like notable games that I could think of when you
start off with
say,
your first one.
My first one I think
memory.
is it was weird. You ever played a game Corvette?
Corvette? Was it literally just called Corvette?
It's literally like, see, that's the thing. Like in my head, I had like so many racing games. This is like early 2000s, so it's literally called Corvette, and you can only drive Corvettes.
I feel like I could see the box art for this.
Right. The logo is a C5, and it just says Corvette.
I'm gonna have to get a
I
picture.
think I might remember
No, I feel
that.
like I can remember it. Yeah.
and like
remember
driver, and then the
Oh
E
yeah.
is a
Yep.
3.
Driver. Yep.
Right.
What'd you play it on? Console?
PlayStation 2, yeah.
Okay.
Driver
And then,
was a really interesting series because I remember like a cousin of mine. He had like the second Driver game, and I remember driving around, and you could find like secret cars and like garages and stuff like that. But the Driver game that I actually put hours into, it was like the last one that they ever made, and he was like, the stick of the game is like he was in the hospital. But he was like hearing the news on TV, and you don't find this out till like the end of the game, like spoiling the whole story. But he could like hop from like car to car to car, so you would like just take over other people's bodies and be like driving other cars like around the world.
And everything had like this orange sepia tint to the whole game.
Yes, the Mexico tint, the Mexico filter.
And then what was it, like Burnout? The one where you're supposed to crash
Burnout.
and you would get like points for
I
crashing.
don't know if I played that.
That was the later Burnouts. The very first, so I had the very first Burnout on GameCube. That was also like in the era of when car games were like really hard. Like I don't know if y'all remember, but car games used to be like difficult. Like you couldn't just go log in and get a million credits and like you're off to the races. It was grind, grind.
I think my favorite though is Most Wanted. I to this day I want to buy that special edition PlayStation 2 Most Wanted.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's the car.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to just buy a PS2 just to play the game again.
Yeah.
Because they never made a remaster.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say Most Wanted was like the first game I remember playing was Most Wanted.
Most Wanted was my third Need for Speeds or fourth. So like my dad was like a big car guy and not huge, but he liked video games and he liked car games. So he'd always buy me like the latest car game. And the first Need for Speed I had was Hot Pursuit 2. And everybody remembers Hot Pursuit 2 because like the intro is like it's a police chase and it's a 360 Spider with like a yellow Murcielago, and this was like when these cars were like really hot, early 2000s. And then like they had a Diablo police car like chasing them through like the hills. I can't remember like the song that was playing, but it was a whole vibe. It was super sick. What about you, Kevin?
For me, this is gonna be a throwback to some of you older folks out there, but it was a 1982 game made by Sega.
Oh my god.
Called Pole Position.
Pole Position.
Yeah,
yes, that was a really big arcade game. Yeah.
We had this device at home. It was like had a joystick on it and it had some games loaded on. And I think that's kind of where like I love F1. That's probably where it started was that game. I didn't really know what F1 was. I just knew the car and I like following the lines and stuff. So that was probably the first game I played, and then moved on to Most Wanted after that.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how like the arcade. So like in the video game world now, we have like the arcade racer, and this just all depends on like the driving physics behind the car in the game. So we have like the arcade racers, we have the simulators, and then we have some games that are like half or in between, but mostly it's like one side of the spectrum. Most of the games we're talking about are all arcade racers, The early Gran Turismos were like the first kind of like the real driving simulator. And I'll never forget.
What was the Need for Speed had like a Porsche video game?
Yeah, so it was Need for Speed Porsche's Unleashed.
That's the first game I remember like seeing. My dad would play it on his PC, but he would never let me play it. Like whenever I asked him to play it, he would say no. And then I would just have to watch from behind, like see all these cool cars. But that's where I learned about all that.
That's a really cool note. So Need for Speed. So like I said it earlier, like video games have to license cars from like real manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
That's why like a lot of early racing games, before people were like really getting into this, they just had like random cars that it looks like a car. Like it's something like a car, or even as we got on later, this looks like it could be this, or it's like modeled after that, But the big thing is that automakers, they're really particular about who they license their cars to, and that's why a lot of the like games that have real cars in them, their crash physics are low. Because automakers don't want to see their cars in like a bad position, like tore up or like destroyed and stuff like that. So funny enough, Need for Speed had an exclusive Porsche license, I want to say all the way up until like 2012, 2011, something like that.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
They
like,
still have Yeah, they still
no
have Porsches.
other game could have Porsches in it. Only Need for Speeds were allowed to have Porsches in it.
Yeah, I noticed because I'm an Xbox kid, so I'd play Forza, and they didn't have Porsche until like recently, almost. I play every motorsport, and none of them had Porsche in it. So.
Now, did the Forzas have roofs or roofs? I never say it right. Is it a roof?
I think they did.
I think
they
they
had
did,
the
yeah.
yellow birds.
Okay,
Yeah,
because I know Gran Turismo
yeah.
did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they had like roofs, or like I know Midnight Club, so Dub Edition, they couldn't have Ferrari or Porsche. So what they did is that they licensed cars from Gambala. So like instead of having a Ferrari 355, you could get a Ferrari like Gambala, and it was just like a 355 like Gambala edition
Yeah.
or whatever.
With the kit, yeah.
Yeah, and then the same thing for like the 996 Turbo in that game. They had like the Gambala like 996 Turbo.
You know, this probably makes sense too, because I think all of these car prices that are happening now are a direct reflection of all those games through the 2000s.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all the people who played those games are now of age to where they could potentially buy some of these cars.
Right.
So if it wasn't in these games and this didn't take place, the prices for everything would probably be pretty low. Also, since they don't make games currently that are like the same style,
Right.
this is why the car culture as a whole is probably taking a steady decline.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people have moved away from like actual racing games, and I feel like a lot of people who just like driving and doing car stuff, they're all in like GTA 5. Like
Yeah.
GTA 5
Yeah.
has become like this huge, you know, it has its own car community within it. And what I see like a lot more these days, at least like on my Instagram and TikTok, are the people who do like the simulator stuff. It's like they're like simulating cutting up through traffic, or like they're
Yeah.
simulating
Yeah.
being like a
Yeah.
truck driver
No
and
hezzy
stuff.
simulator.
Right.
Yeah, it's
You-
a big thing now. Are simulators?
Yeah, and like
for
just
anything.
right, because everybody wants to
Truck drive, like
feel like they're
But
actually
then that goes
driving.
hand in hand when you think about it, right? Because before, in these games, you would pull up to the guy, you'd have to race as the mission to like
Right,
beat the
right.
game, and it would be like a car meet going on.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, damn, this is sick. Like, there's so many cool cars. I'm pulling up to this guy, right?
Right.
So that's why we probably enjoy going to car meets and stuff like that. But now people want to just cut up on No Hezzy Simulator, and then they finally go get their G35, and then they end up cutting up in real life.
Yeah. But too bad the damage physics in real life are a lot worse.
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
get to respawn.
No, there is no respawn.
Yeah,
There's no
definitely
quick
not.
fix. There's no
There's
driving
also
through.
with what was it? TV shows too, like Pimp My Ride.
Yeah. Oh my.
None of that happens.
There
now.
was a Pimp My Ride PlayStation 2 game, and I had it.
Why
I
do I
rented
remember
it.
this? I had it too.
I remember it, like you would like.
Wait, I just core memory
it's so
unlocked,
serious.
dude.
So like
Oh,
I don't know about y'all,
image.
but like we had a lot of the racing games I got to play were because of like Blockbuster, Family Video, and like what was the other one? It was like Hollywood, something like
Hollywood
that.
Video.
Yeah. But mostly like Family Video.
Oh.
Like once we moved to the east side.
I
Yes,
remember
here
this.
it is.
I
First, show them
remember
this.
this.
So
Is that?
they had like Pimp My Ride video game, and it was totally like it was just like the show. You would like drive around as like exhibit, and then you'd have to go like find people like on the street and stuff like that. And then like you'd like go customize the car, and you like hook it up, and then like you like present it back to them. And of course they'd be like going nuts. But no, Pimp My Ride was like insane. How many TVs can we shove in this?
Yeah, exactly.
This Honda Accord.
I think we hovered over, but I think like Most Wanted was like
Yeah, no,
that
we can
changed,
talk
like,
about it.
everything.
We
I
can
feel
talk about
like.
it. I want to say so
That's
the
like what brought.
yeah, I feel like
and,
Most
like,
Wanted brought like a
everyone I
lot
know.
of people.
Yeah.
So like Underground started the hype. So if you were old enough to play Underground and understand what was happening, it was cool. You know, you had the Underglow, you had like the nighttime. There was no police in Underground, so that kind of made it like, you know, a little bit different compared to Most Wanted. And then we got Underground 2, which was just like Underground on crack. So, but then what happened with Most Wanted was there was like kind of a small, not a huge, but like a small shift in car culture and even like video gamey type stuff. So Most Wanted, they switched to daytime again, which the Need for Speed games used to always be in daytime. And that was like a big switch also from like the 90s to the 2000s was exotic cars in like exotic locales. So like all the early hot pursuits were like, we're on mountain roads, you know, driving Ferraris, and we're in the Swiss Alps and stuff like that. You know, to now we're like in the mean streets of whatever random city this is. And we're just doing crazy stuff at night. But no, Most Wanted, I want to say Most Wanted is like why every car guy now is
Yeah.
a car guy.
Just like in terms of like the modifications that you could do to the cars. I like to think that was like my racer era
Yeah.
before I had a license. So I already went through it. So by the time I was like already into cars, like that was gone.
Agreed.
I already got
I
rid
don't
of
know.
it.
Y'all, so everybody played Most Wanted, right?
Yeah.
What was the first car that you picked? So you had like a choice of like a starter car, and I think it was like a Cobalt
I
SS.
chose a Fiat.
Or the Fiat, like it
chose
was like Fiat
Fiat.
Punto.
I chose the
and then hey, I think the other one was like a Golf or something like
I think
that.
I chose the Golf.
I
Yeah.
would always choose the Cobalt SS.
Yeah.
So my
I chose
Detroit
the
roots coming
Cobalt.
through.
I don't know why I picked the Fiat.
Maybe it was just fun.
I mean, I probably picked all of them at some point 'cause
Right.
I played the game so much. But yeah,
I want to say
like,
every
remember-
time I started off Most Wanted, I always picked the Cobalt. But no, the customization in Most Wanted was honestly of all of the early Need for Speeds, it was probably the least riciest. Like it wasn't too crazy. But the big thing that Most Wanted introduced, because now we're getting into like the action era of like video games, movies, and TV shows. Like everybody wants to be like an action star, right? So now we have like these crazy cop chases. I could probably pull up 1,000 clips of how aggressive the cops get on Most Wanted.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like it's like sometimes you would like be in a police chase. And then the cops would literally just be like carrying you like a wave because they've
Yeah.
like crashed into you. Now your car is like upside down.
It
Do you
had,
guys
like-
remember like when you would do the blacklist,
Yeah.
the most wanted list?
Yeah.
I would like always need the car. The
Oh, yeah,
I
the
would
pink
always need the
slip.
pink slip. If I didn't get the pink slip, I'd turn off my Xbox and I'd try it again
Redo.
until I got
Yeah.
it.
That was the easiest way to do it. You had to like save like right before like you did the boss race, and then you like just reset. No, I definitely have done multiple runs of the game where I was trying to get every single pink slip, like
need
every
all
single
of them.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one like notable car from this game, it was the BMW M3
Totally.
GTR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like, you know, fell in love with the E46. So it's the E46 generation BMW M3 because of this game. I think BMW were cooler than any automaker. I'm gonna say last year they actually put the Most Wanted livery and like made a M3 GTR like for their like BMW museum, and it just kind of sits there and it like spins around just like it was in the video game. But no, that was the hero car from that game. And he loses it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
nameless hero.
Played
Always,
with
like,
everybody's
made me mad.
emotions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So pissed.
I can still hear like Mia's voice. It's like you left the oil slick at the beginning of the race.
I always liked that generation of Mustang though because
Yeah.
of that game.
Yeah, so that was that was right after New Edge.
Yeah.
That was
It's like
05 to
yeah,
09.
the first square, like squarish
yeah,
body
yeah,
style.
yeah. Which like also gets a lot of hate because it was.
It does. I
It
wouldn't
wasn't-
like that car if it wasn't for that game.
The problem is
That's the
that
reason
that
why.
car those still had the 4.6.
Yeah.
But they brought back the GT500 for that generation, which the GT500 for that generation is cool. It's also really rare.
Yeah.
Like I don't see
Yeah.
05 to 09 GT500s like ever. Yeah. And then 2010, we got like all of the cars in 2010. They had so many special editions for the 2010,
Yeah.
2013 Mustangs. Yeah, no, but no, I still also want like that BMW M3 GTR. And I did like a bunch of research on it. So the car in the game is actually based on the GT3 car. So it's like the actual like race car that BMW had that's based on. And then the homologated street car is like the M3 GTR, and they only made 5 of them. And they all have not the S65 V8 in it, but like a special.
I heard like the noise that they used for the sequential transmission came from the TVR Cigaris.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I'm pretty sure like I know that sound is like in the game
Right.
for the E46
Right.
like, somehow. I just I can't remember if they used it for the sequential sound.
Uh-huh.
'Cause if you remember that was like the only you never heard the exhaust.
No,
It
you
was
didn't
just
hear
like
the
the-
exhaust.
It was
or
like
anything.
just the whining sound. Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
just it shifting
and the
gears.
nitrous?
Yes,
And then
and the
the-
nitrous.
Oh, man.
Bruh, the blur.
Yeah, the
Nitrous
blur.
blur was like such a thing in early games. I feel like, do new games even have nitrous in it? It's not the same.
Not really. Yeah.
It don't hit
even
the
if they
same.
do, it's not the same.
I will never
Yeah.
forget playing like Need for Speed Underground and hitting like the nitrous for the first time. Like the whole
You're
screen
sitting in your
blurs
seat
and
like you flew back.
right,
Yeah.
and like all the lights, like you get a bunch of light trails and stuff like that. It was such a fun time. I love it. But
That's
yeah,
why those arcade games are so fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes more fun than the simulators. You know, it just kind of depends what
Honestly,
you want to play.
you know, I'll never forget. Like my first simulator was Gran Turismo 3, right? Did y'all ever play any of the Gran Turismo?
4.
4?
At
4 was
Xbox.
probably the
At
one I put the
yeah.
most time
That's
in.
like when you click the menu and it's like bling,
Yeah.
bling each time. Yeah.
So whenever I think of Gran Turismo, I think of the Gran Turismo 3 memory sound. Like I can't even make the sound. I'm gonna have to put a sound clip in, y'all. But it's so nostalgic for me. But no, Gran Turismo 4 is probably the one that most people remember. I think it's probably also like
That's
it had
like-
the
yeah.
most cars. Because we can also talk about how car video games don't have cars anymore. Like
I think I started with Motorsport 2, Forza Motorsport.
That was a good
2.
one.
Yeah, I was
because you weren't a PlayStation kid.
Yeah, I mean, I was, but like not for driving games at least.
Oh, okay.
But when I started driving games,
It was
the
on
360,
Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
What about you, Kev?
Yeah, I rarely got to play Gran Turismo. Only when I went to my friend's house because I had Xbox too. So
I guess that was the battle of it. Were you guys primarily like Xbox households like the whole time, or was it like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I had the original Xbox all the way through the Series X, and I think I've only had a PS4.
I've
between all
had
that. Yeah.
every PlayStation except for PlayStation 5 because I'm too busy with life right now to go buy one. Plus, there are not any games on it besides Gran Turismo 7, and I have that on my PlayStation
Same.
4. So, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that was a big thing back in the day, too, is that, like, depending on what system you have, it was like what games you got.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were so exclusive. Like Xbox, you had Forza, Halo, some other ones. PlayStation, you had a bunch of good like solo games, Uncharted,
Right.
stuff like that. So you really had to pick to which kind of games catered to you.
Yeah, and Gran Turismo was definitely a PlayStation exclusive, and it was hard.
Did you guys
Yeah.
ever play Test Drive?
Yes, bruh.
Test Drive Unlimited.
Test Drive Unlimited.
Oh my
in
God.
Hawaii.
Yes.
And the whole game, there was no missions. You just drove around.
No, there was
That was-
missions.
There was
No,
missions.
but you could also buy houses.
Yeah.
no way.
You
So,
buy
like,
houses
in Hawaii.
and
Test-
cars. Yeah.
Okay, so like let's talk about Test Drive for a minute because
That changed. That was like that's where Horizon and like
yeah, right.
all
so
that
like,
stuff like came
so
from. I
for
feel
all
like.
of the people who don't know, so Test Drive is the original games were by Eden Studios. I can't remember where the studio's out of, but Test Drive made like a bunch of games, and like some of their early games were like I had like one of the really really early Test Drive games was like Test Drive Off-Road Fury or something like that.
Oh,
And Test Drive
I
was
never
like one
played
of the
that.
like earlier people to have a bunch of licensed cars in their games and stuff like that. So the first like big Test Drive that everybody remembers is Test Drive Unlimited. So it took
Yeah.
place on Oahu
Yep.
in Hawaii. So real life location. And then the big thing about like that test drive was that it was a one like the Oahu map was 1-to-1.
Yeah, it was because
It
there
was-
was
it
a
says
race
that here.
that
It's a
went
1-to-1.
around the entire map. And
Yeah,
it
and it
took
would take like
forever.
an hour or 2 hours to
Yeah.
like actually finish the race. So it was 1-to-1 scale. Now, mind you, this was like mid PS2 days, so like it was pretty empty around the map besides like the city areas. But no, it was sick because you could buy houses, you could rent cars, you could buy cars, you have multiple homes, have like rearrange the cars in your homes. Like it was literally like The Sims for the boys, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the first open world
Yep.
game.
It
pretty
wasn't the
much.
first open world game, but it was one of the first like really big like endeavors for like an open world game. I don't
It
think
was a really good open world game.
right.
for
I don't
the
think
time, I feel
anything
like.
before that had like
No,
crazy open
Grand
world.
Theft Auto 3.
Right.
then-
Wow, yeah.
But that was
But
like
then
a
I
different.
feel like that's where Horizon came in because they did what we all wanted for Test Drive was to modify the cars.
Right, because Test Drive
So
was
then-
really limited on modification.
Yeah, exactly. You could like change the paint color.
Right.
Then, like that's it, right?
I
Yellow
think
or
paint
white?
color, wheels, you know, but like Test Drive was more of like a lifestyle simulator where you
Yeah,
could like
yeah.
you were living the life of being like ultra rich and like going to all these events and like I want to say because I didn't spend a lot of time playing the original Test Drive, but I've spent a lot of time playing Test Drive Unlimited 2 on PS3, which was like
I didn't like that game.
what?
I didn't. Didn't you like start driving in that game with a California or something?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the first car.
Yeah. They start you off in the California T.
It just didn't. It wasn't the same for me.
really?
Yeah, because I had played
spent
so much of the Hawaii one.
days
Yeah.
and Test Drive Unlimited 2. Well, no, so the cool thing about Test Drive Unlimited 2 is that it took place in two locations. It took place on Ibiza and Oahu.
Yeah.
And they were both 1-to-1. So I think you start on Ibiza though. So like you start on Ibiza, and then
you do,
eventually,
yeah.
like after you progress in the game, you get to go to Oahu. But like even more houses, even more cars. Like I think one of the like most expensive like house items in Test Drive Unlimited 2 was you could buy a yacht, and you could put all of your cars like on the yacht, and it had like on the first like lower deck, it was like a car garage. That was like super sick. But I feel like that's what. So you mentioned GTA, and so I'm gonna go like off mainstream car video games for a little bit and like pick your guys' brain. We're gonna make our way to GTA. Did you guys ever play any of the Spy Hunter video games?
I remember this also.
Oh my god!
Wait,
It's like-
that like
Come
it's
on,
like itching
Max,
something
tell
in
us
the
about
brain. I don't know.
It's like bleak. I remember. What is it? What was the one with the James Bond? It wasn't James Bond, but it's James Bond's-esque. You know? what I'm
Yeah,
talking
so
about?
it was Spy Hunter. So Spy Hunter was like early PS2. And it was on GameCube too, but I had it on PlayStation 2. It might have been an Xbox. It wasn't like an exclusive for
I don't think I've ever
anything.
seen a GameCube, like in person.
Those are so fun. I
Well,
played
you've
those
never
all
seen
the
a game?
time.
What?
Wow.
I'm gonna have to pause the
I've
episode.
had every PlayStation since PlayStation 1.
You've never seen a GameCube?
Like, not in person, but like in videos. and
Okay.
stuff.
I
Where-
also do not believe I have ever seen a
Ever.
GameCube.
No way. I
It
play
doesn't
GameCube
exist.
all the time.
It doesn't exist.
Who made that? Is that Nintendo? What is
Exactly.
What?
I've heard of it. I remember when it came out, but I had PlayStation 1, 2. I had different types of PlayStation 2s. I had the Slim, I had the big one, the original one, the different color one. I had every PlayStation except for a PSP.
Yeah, no, you guys are off the podcast. Never
Yeah.
again.
The GameCube was so important.
You didn't.
The little disc you put it in, you can just carry that thing anywhere.
So-
What? I
Dog.
yeah, I never played that. I never
Dog.
played
Okay.
that.
So
I had a Nintendo 64. I had
Yeah, I
like an
had
old
that.
Atari.
okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
okay, we're gonna
like-
go way off really quick because we're gonna talk about the GameCube and racing. So we're just talking about racing. The GameCube probably had the best Mario Kart ever.
Oh, easy.
And that was Double Dash.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Double. You guys don't get to be in this conversation. Me and Kevin are gonna reminisce for a little bit. Mario Kart Double Dash was so every Nintendo system has a Mario Kart. And the GameCube one was Double Dash. And what was unique about Double Dash is that you played as two people. So like you could switch positions on the cart.
man.
So you had like one person in the front and one person in the back. And depending on like what characters you would pair up, you'd have like special abilities for like the carts.
Yep.
But no, Mario Kart was sick. But the GameCube was like one of Nintendo's always made like really funky consoles. And that was like one of the ones, but the GameCube had like some of the most important video games on it. Like, and also just random video games too, because I think RE4 was a GameCube exclusive. And like it's locked to the GameCube. Same thing with Soul Calibur 2. You know, so there's a bunch of like just random like discography of video games that got like locked to the GameCube.
Yeah, no, I played a ton of like Nintendo games, Kirby especially on the GameCube. I didn't play a ton of racing, but Mario Kart was definitely like
Yeah.
Double Dash was super fun. Like
Yeah.
going to my friend's house.
Now
and
I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah, you
We're
did,
gonna
yeah.
okay. So what we're gonna do?
We're gonna buy a GameCube.
We're gonna buy a GameCube.
We gotta buy it.
GameCubes
Yeah,
are
I
about
guess
like
we got-
$100 these days.
Then we can
'cause-
finally see one. Does it
Yeah,
look like a
you can
cube?
touch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
literally,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
literally
square.
a cube.
I
Next,
just
put
want
a picture for
I
it.
just want to see this.
We're gonna
know
see you
it
in person.
exists.
I've
Yeah.
seen the memes where people are like cutting their like PlayStation game to the size of
Yeah.
the GameCube.
Yeah,
to
it's, like, so
thinking like,
small.
oh, I could play Grand Theft Auto on the GameCube.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
Yeah. So
But, like,
Nintendo liked. So like, we went from N64 to disc. Like Nintendo was always like a little bit late when it comes to like stuff, right? And they were a little bit late to the disc game. I want to say Sega was like on top of it. Sega was like, yes, disc. But because people were doing LimeWire and Napster
Yeah, I
stuff
didn't
back
have
in the
that.
day,
I didn't have that.
with full size DVDs and pirating a bunch of stuff, people were like, Nintendo was like, okay, we gotta fix this. So they made the disc small, and they would write an entire game just on these little proprietary GameCube discs, and you couldn't put it in anything else besides a GameCube, or later on the Wii. But if you had if you put your Wii vertically, sometimes the GameCube disc would just fall to the bottom of the Wii. So that was the thing.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the controller. I always thought it felt a little bit weird. But
The GameCube controller?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you
Did
guys
you-
hold one. I have one at home.
Did
I
you
should
like
just bring
it?
it so that you
Okay.
guys can like hold it. Because I recently just like sold my GameCube and I just use emulator on my computer to play a lot of older
Nice.
games.
That's why I've always chose PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
because I think the PlayStation controller is more ergonomic than the Xbox controller.
I've never liked the PlayStation controller either.
What is wrong
I
with
didn't
you?
like
I
it.
don't know.
I
It
like
feels
the
weird in my
360
hands,
controller.
yeah.
I was just
It
so
feels like
used
really
to it.
Okay, so I will
something,
not lie.
yeah.
The 360 controller had weight and girth compared to like the PlayStation 2 and early PlayStation 3 controllers.
Yeah.
360 controller was just heavy because you had to put batteries in it.
Yeah.
You know what PlayStation didn't have? Batteries.
batteries.
Okay.
Yeah, but it gave it like a good weight to it.
And I could be
you know?
wireless. I could sit on the couch far away and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like chill.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, so back to non-car games that have cars in them that also make car people. Spy Hunter was one of them. It was like James Bondy. You had this car that would like transform. You'd go on these missions and shoot targets and stuff like that. But the real non-car car game is GTA.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to say that. So like, I was probably playing GTA Vice City way younger than I should have been, as all of us
Same.
probably were.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
And all I would do is just drive around. I'm like, Mom, I just want to play it so I can drive the cars. And like, also GTA formed so much of my like music taste because like
Totally.
Self Control by I forget what her name is, like Laura or something like that. It's like, you taking my self control, and like I'm driving through Miami
Yeah.
as Tommy
Yeah.
Vercetti and like my whatever, white cocaine white
Countach
Lamborghini
thing,
Countach
yeah.
looking thing. There was nothing better than that, and that's why everybody wants to go back to GTA 6 because they just want to go back to their
Yeah.
my first car game, my first
will-
car, my first GTA.
I will say I do blame GTA for creating a lot of the no hesi like
I can
drivers.
see that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no repercussions. You just get wanted
All
level
those guys
and you just
were
escape.
for sure playing GTA.
Yeah, and I feel like the
That's where they learned
no
how to
hesi
drive.
guys are probably more of a GTA crowd than people who are spending more time playing like Gran Turismos or like
Sim
more
games or
like sim
something
games
like
or
that,
even like
yeah.
some of the like arcade racers where you like racing was actually the focus,
You know what's crazy is it also depends on like Midnight Club Los Angeles, right? I spent a lot of time on that game.
Right.
And in that game you can have like really crazy cars, Ferraris and stuff,
Right.
like Lamborghinis, put nitrous on it,
Mhm.
do the motor modifications. I remember back when you would have to play online, you could join clubs that made forms. And I joined a club that was called the Midnight Club Los Angeles Camaro Club.
Oh wow.
And they had a website, and I was just like so eager to join, and I wanted to join. And to join, you had to race one of their members. But all these guys were like super old school, probably a lot older, and they only drove like the '69 Camaro, the Trans Am with the bird. They didn't drive
Not the Trans
anything
Am
else,
with the
no
bird.
tuners, no exotics, and they're like, use whatever car you want. I'm like, all right. So I pull out a Lamborghini, think, oh, I'm gonna smoke this guy, right? He's in an old Camaro, gapped me.
Yep.
Like he finished a race, and I was still like halfway through the race.
Man.
And he was like, yeah, see?
Back
and
in
that
the
kind of made me
day-
think about, like, it's not really, like, the car. It's, like, you got to know how to use it.
Yeah, back in the day where you could actually like tune a car to do different things. Every car in the video game wasn't at the exact same
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the big thing with Gran Turismo is that you actually had to drive like right in order to win. Not so much with arcade racers. You could, wall ride, push some people out of the way, make some very angry AI, unless they had like crazy rubber banding, which most wanted had like insane rubber banding. You just be driving and then like you just see the arrow. It's just like getting faster and faster.
I think GTA, pretty much all of them, the AI in that game, they'll just crash into you when
Yeah.
you're when you're
Yeah.
driving down the street.
Right.
Just cut you
And
off.
it's like you'll just be cruising and someone will just change lanes and totally crash into you. It's like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But no, I think GTA definitely did just as much shaping as like the Need for Speeds and the Forzas, and all of the other kind of car games out there. There was one other car game. There are also like some really obscure ones out there. Did you guys ever play Juiced?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't think so.
Like Twisted Metal and stuff
Twisted
like that.
Metal.
There's the Crew. where-
The Crew.
I think that's what
I
it's
liked it
called.
because it had SF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
really played it, but I always saw like videos of it. It looked pretty cool.
I remember I got the Crew like on sale, and it was like I can have like 15, 20 bucks or whatever. But it was also cool because it was like not 1-to-1, but it was supposed to be the entire like US map.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and you could drive from like city to city.
Yeah.
And it was all open world. But for some reason the Crew, like the first Crew, doesn't really stick in my mind much. And then there was
No.
other ones because they had like the Crew 2.
Yeah, I think it kind
The
of fell
Crew
flat.
2.
I mean, it was a really cool idea, open world,
Right.
like of the whole U.S., but they had all the landmarks and stuff. But it didn't stick as much as GTA. Or
Then there
any
was
of the other
like the
games.
Crew Motorfest, and then they added
Yeah.
planes.
Yep.
They
Oh
had a-
yeah.
Oh, that-
they did. That kind of
See, but the
Yeah.
thing is, at that point, we're just back to GTA,
GTA, and then
you know.
you'd rather just play GTA. 'Cause why
Right. The
not?
biggest thing for GTA is that GTA didn't have licensed cars, but the GTA cars had enough of their own styling
Yeah.
that you're like, this is sick anyway. You know, especially
true.
by the time we got to GTA 5, where it really got big.
I always liked comparing, like, because they don't have the licensing, but they would get like so close to like something that exists.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of like funny. It's like, this is obviously a Dodge Charger,
Right.
but
Right.
it's called something else.
Right,
in
right.
GTA, and it just has a different badge.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
the Porsches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Comet.
Yeah, the
Comet.
Comet.
Yeah.
It has been a
Comets.
Comet since the inception of, since it started to look like a Porsche, since like GTA 3.
Did you ever hear
3
about
and
that
4, yeah.
story of the lady who won like some sweepstakes thing, and she has an
I know
actual
exactly what you're
Banshee
talking about. Have
that's
you guys
like
heard of
based
this?
off of a Viper, and
An
she won't
actual-
sell
Oh,
it.
I think I've
She has
seen
a
that.
what?
Yeah.
The Banshee is like a car in GTA,
yeah.
but they have like she won like they built a kit car that looked like the Banshee from
Yeah.
GTA 5,
Yeah.
and this like woman won it, but didn't she like not want it or something?
She didn't want it.
She didn't want to sell it.
I can't remember what it was.
Someone,
but
like,
it looked
offered to buy
identical.
it.
Yeah, it was, like,
perfect.
identical, yeah.
Yeah, I love the Banshee.
I'll
It's
pull
been
up
in
a
like
picture of
every
it.
GTA. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think
Same
she
with the
ended up
Infernus.
selling it to
oh,
Someone's
Infernus.
building the Infernus. Did you see that? The drift?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it. Yeah, from
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
GTA
awesome.
4.
Yeah, some dude's doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so driving physics. Let's talk about that for a little bit. GTA, since we're on GTA 4 probably had like my favorite Grand
Yeah,
Theft Auto
agreed.
driving.
Wow, that was crazy. You turn left and right, and you're fishtailing all over the place.
It was like, I don't know, it felt GTA 4 had like the ragdoll.
Yeah.
It had like
Yeah.
I felt like it had really real driving physics. So I felt like I could just be like, and this is when like the PlayStation controllers first started to get like the PS3 controllers had like the analog triggers.
Dual shock or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you could give it like a little bit of throttle or like more. So like I would literally just like drive around like I was a normal person and be like pedestrian traffic because it was just so much fun to
I
do.
think everyone's done that at some point.
Right,
It's so
and
fun.
GTA 4 was like a really good game for that because all the other games, you know, they were all built for like top speed, you know. So like
Yeah.
you're hitting the gas in like a Need for Speed game, you're just like taking off. There is like no slow driving. Plus, there's like no other traffic, you know.
Yeah.
There's just like
Well, there's niche things you could do too. Like, I know you could like if you were to aim your gun at like
oh my god, Max!
You
I
could
was
lower
so
the
happy
car.
that you remember that.
GTA 4 was
do you
the
guys
best
remember
GTA,
this?
hands down. Hot
yeah.
take.
Yeah, no, I played GTA 4 so
Yeah,
much.
I
It
wish
was
they
really fun.
remastered it.
Okay,
I'd be
so-
playing it right now.
Me too.
In GTA 4, this is like also like my early days of YouTube where you're just watching random stuff on
Yeah.
YouTube and people will put anything. So in GTA 4, it had this really weird like property. Like the cars had this really weird property where if you shot like either like right in the center of the wheel or like just behind the wheel, it would physically just lower the car.
You like shot the
Oh.
suspension.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
I've
yeah, that's
seen
what
like
it
clips
did.
of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I
like
don't remember
destroying
that.
the
Totally
suspension.
forgot
But
about that.
Kevin, it was so hard to do.
Yeah.
because like you'd find and like I really like GTA 4 because it had like a bunch of just really random like not random but like a lot of like hidden cars that like you had to do like the right combination of like traffic to try to find like the BMW like
totally.
E46 in that game, right? The
Yeah.
Sentinel. It had like. Oh goodness! It had like a couple different versions of the Sentinels, like
Yeah.
the no spoiler one, the one that had the louvers and like just random stuff. But you could only find it like on the street.
Sultan
Certain time.
RS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So like, and you could find like different versions of the car. Because I remember spending hours in GTA 4 where I would like drive around the map and like I would be in like a YouTube video. It was like, yeah, what are all the like secret random cars that you could find? Or like it only shows up in this one mission, so you got to
Exactly.
save it from
Yeah,
this
and
one
you'd have
mission.
to wait for the spawns to change. I
Yeah.
remember looking for I think it was called the Bullet. It was like the Ford GT.
Right.
Waiting for that thing to spawn, like just driving around, and it finally showed
You
up.
come back
get
and
it.
it's like, damn, it's still not here.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
right. And then like you get it, and because of how the logic works in the game, it's now everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You go to
So-
the airport and you see what top speed you get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in GTA 4, it was really hard to get the Infernus to spawn.
Yeah, it
like
was.
Yeah.
darn
It
near
was.
impossible.
Yeah, that's why
And
it's
I
so
remember
special.
there was one area. It was like at the top of the second island, and it was like right by the bridge. But if you kind of drove around that area with like a nice car, there was a chance that like a bunch of them would like spawn like street part. But dog, it was impossible. Impossible.
Man, yeah, and I think GTA 5. GTA 5 was a big step up from GTA 4 in the driving physics sense. I think they made it less like ragdoll, and you can control the car a little bit better. So.
Also, the cars were just like overall faster in GTA 5.
Yeah.
I feel like the speed, like you had speed.
I think they got some of the. They probably got some of those physics from Midnight Club.
It's the
Los
same company.
Angeles.
Yeah, Rockstar.
You know, so like why
Yeah.
reuse it? But no. Very different games, but like
Definitely utilized.
and that's probably why we never got another Midnight Club is because they're like, oh, we just built it into GTA 5 and the people are happy.
That's so sad though.
I know,
Yeah.
because like
But, I mean, I could see why.
I still
could
want
see
my brand new Escalade on like 25, 26 inch rims. You know,
Oh yeah.
Seeing people's customizations were crazy because like you could tell the one guy that's like an actual car guy, he has like the decals perfect, the color combo's perfect, and then there's the guy with like a Mercy on like gold spinners with white wall tires.
So
and
that
it's
was
pink.
something really unique about Midnight Club Los Angeles that I wish every game had. I think some other games have like some form of this, but they had like a rate, like they had like a section of like online multiplayer. This was like online multiplayer was like just getting big with like the PS3 era. You could go into like this menu and it would just shuffle through all of the cars that people submitted. And like people would have like the craziest like builds on Midnight Club LA. I feel like I just need to put some of them in there, and you could like rate their cars. But then also, what was really cool is if you really liked a car, you could just buy it. And I'm pretty sure that all of the money from that, or like a portion of the money from you buying their car online, would go directly to their game.
Oh,
That's cool. I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
sick.
It's like the Forza like auction.
Mm-hmm.
Thing
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they still have that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do. I remember I
Auction house.
used to play Forza a lot. You could
I used to
auction
use
your
it.
cars. Yeah,
You just get like
for way
super
cheaper than like,
expensive cars for
exactly.
like pretty cheap. Yeah,
That
you
was
just
the
have to
used
wait.
car dealership in Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's this one Gran Turismo YouTube channel that I've been like following. Probably like at the guy. But there's like certain days and times where specific cars will show up in the used car dealership. And like there was like really rare cars that only show up like on this day after this much time and like everything else. Back to Gran Turismo 4, I had a friend who has spent a lot more time on it than I did. And this was like, I was spending all of my time between Gran Turismo 4 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Because San Andreas was like the first GTA to have car customization, but you had to do like the one mission for the car dealership to get the good customization.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. But I remember he showed me like the endurance races on GTA 4, because not GTA 4, Gran Turismo 4, because it had the B mode. So it had the B spec mode where you could just tell, like you were like the pit crew and like the race engineer, and you would tell like the driver what to do.
Oh, that's cool. So you're kind of like the manager, and you can manage how the race is going. That's
But
pretty cool.
Kevin, they had like, it was an actual 24-hour race. Like
No
it
way.
had like
Was it
actual like
really?
12-hour races,
Oh,
and you had to
man.
manage tire, fuel, and like everything. But like you'd get so many credits from finishing the race.
Yeah.
But it was like if your mom came in your room and turned off your PlayStation in the middle of the night,
lose
that
all
was
your
it.
progress. Yeah,
that
you're
was
done.
it.
Raps.
I'm pretty sure you could save like mid race, you know, or like pause it or like some sort. But like the thing is, you have to keep your PlayStation running all night. I'm almost sure that's why like all the fat PS2s don't work today. It's because all the kids trying to keep
doing endurance racing.
during endurance races or just being on the
So,
game all night.
What do you? So yeah, to relate to that, like, what do you think? Because now a lot of people have moved on to like real sims.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
simulators. And I feel like that had a huge impact on like would you even consider that like car video games, or like is that like its own thing?
I kind of think it's its
now?
own thing because not everyone can have a sim. Like,
Right.
Most people, or a lot of people, can have a console or
Right.
something like that. But once you get into the sim, like they're not all the same. Like you can have a really nice one, or one that you just mount to your desk, and I think
Right.
you can have advantages or disadvantages that way.
Right. And I think everybody has had like some form of it. And I guess the big thing is like, because like even when I was like really, really young, I had a racing wheel. Now I didn't have like 900 degrees of like turn. I made like a little Instagram video about it, like talking about like how I would used to just use it to like pretend to drive. But I want to say everybody who has a sim now definitely had like one of the cheap like PlayStation wheels.
Yeah.
And I remember going to like the GameStop and they would have them like up on the top shelf.
All the dust on it.
Yeah, and like, cause nobody was buying them,
Yeah.
and then like you catch like it at a deal, and then they like bring it down for you, and you're like, you have like your big box. I
Yep.
miss
That
like
was fun.
going to the store and getting big box stuff.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
now you can get like like if you really wanted a simulator, you could go on Facebook and get one for like $20.
I think
Like one of those like Logitech G29s, $30, 40
I
something.
I want to say what video games and car video games did is they made car guys competitive. Like, because you're always trying to win, you know, from like the early Need for Speeds to like the, you know, later Need for Speeds, whatever they're doing, you know, they're action movies now. You were always trying to win. You're always trying to be the best. You're always trying to have the best car too. So I think what video game culture kind of did, even like, and even hyped up even more for car culture, because in the early Need for Speed, you had like a star rating. So like to progress the game, you had to have like the sickest car, you know, and you had to throw everything you had at it, you know, butterfly doors, spinners, and like everything. Actually, we should bring back spinners, by the way. Everything you had to throw at it, and I think that really influenced like car people today. Like I feel like everyone is like trying to win. They're either trying to like win a street race or they're trying to be like the best car at the Cars and Coffee. Like,
yeah, and I think especially for gaming in general, like everyone's gotten so much better or more competitive at it, and I think there's less casual gaming. Like there's less people sitting in their living room playing on a TV when everyone has a monitor and a setup with like a high frame rate and they're just trying to win. So especially with racing, I'm sure there's a ton of guys out there who are super good on the sim.
Right.
And, you know, you don't know how they are in real life, but it's a game, so you just get really good at it.
I think we transitioned from, like you said, games being fun and casual and just goofy. You know, like nobody's getting into police. Well, I blame Most Wanted for all the police chases.
Right.
Actually, now that I think about it, we say GTA. I blame Most Wanted. I blame Most Wanted and Carbon for every single person who think they can outrun, you know, GSP and like a GTR. GTR.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Like GSP is literally Rockport Police, and I'm gonna do like a side by side clip.
Yeah.
All they're missing
You gotta
is
put 2 clips in there.
right, because it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
All they're missing is like Corvettes.
Yeah.
All black Corvettes.
C6.
yeah.
Police cars,
Yeah.
Man.
I thought about building one of those as like a car, like crosses like C6 like police Corvette. I think that'd be pretty sick.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, some guy on Instagram who built the M3 GTR.
I've seen like a couple people who have tried to do it.
He sold the M3 GTR, but then he got a C6 and he put the cross like
livery
on it.
Oh, that's sick.
Wow.
Yeah, that took me back.
Did you ever see a car in like real life and then you went home and tried to make it on the game when you were younger?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, especially on Forza. Horizon
Forza,
has so
yeah.
much good customization.
What car
Yeah.
was it?
Ooh.
It was
Just like anything I saw online.
probably any
It
cool
was like-
muscle car, or
Right.
if I rarely saw like a Supra or an R32.
It would have to be like
or
a
something.
Fast and Furious car.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
Brian,
exactly.
trying to make like Brian's
Right. That was like
34.
I can't
Silver
tell
one.
you how many YouTube videos I looked up of trying to make his R34 in
Yeah.
whatever game. It's like you got to use this decal and you got to turn it this way.
Yeah,
and you
the,
got to
like, degrees
and it's like
and,
this grill actually looks like the closest to the real grill and like oh my god.
So when I was probably like 7, there I grew up in like North Las Vegas when I was a little kid. So there was a guy in like that part of town who would buy Hondas. I think he worked at the dealership, and he would trick them out, and it looked exactly like Fast and Furious 1, like the ones that would steal the
Oh,
things
all
from
black
the
ones.
truck.
Oh yeah.
And he would buy them, build them, probably show them, and then sell it back to the dealership. So this dealership always had like a crazy lineup. And my sister got her license. Her first car was like one of those Civics that was British Racing Green on white wheels with the big wing aero kit, underglow.
Super 2000.
And she
yeah.
couldn't drive it. So it just sat in our garage for like 2 years until my mom sold
Right.
it. And I made that car in the video game. I think it was Need for Speed.
Right.
Underground.
Probably
2.
Underground, yeah.
And I would race it all the time. And I'd be like, oh, look, I'm driving your car.
I know everybody likes
Yeah.
to blame Fast and the Furious for car prices. I want to say it was just as bad. The video games, like,
Yeah.
honestly, there wasn't an E46 in Fast and the Furious, but there was an E46 in Need for Speed, and that's why we can't get E46s for cheap
They're
anymore.
expensive, yep.
And then even when it comes to like all of the early Civics, S2Ks, just all of these like random cars, they like threw them in the game. They're like, look at what you can do with this 350, you know, and now everybody has a 350. You know, it was very much like the video games that had a huge influence on that. What car in a video game did you like dead set like I must have this as a child? Like what car was like I gotta have it?
The Eclipse GSX.
Man, me too.
It was from Midnight Club LA.
Yeah.
That was like the only car I would like
Yeah.
keep building over and over and over again.
Man, probably like a Hawkeye STI. I really wanted like an STI growing up. It was like super cool, and I thought it was cool. I loved Rally too. Like Rally
Oh,
was super
yeah.
fun. There's also a ton of good Rally sim games.
Now there is, yeah. I
there
want to
really are.
say early on, Gran Turismo had it pretty down packed,
Yeah.
and then we got a lot of the WRC stuff later. But there's some really early WRC games. I can't think of them, but I want to say as early as back as like PlayStation 1.
Yeah. No, I didn't start playing them until like probably 3 or 4 years ago. But like Dirt is really good.
When was the first
WRC.
Dirt?
It was a long time ago, probably at least like 10 years ago. But like
Max, look up when the first Dirt came out.
yeah.
Dirt?
Yeah.
Dirt Rally. But yeah, Evos, Subarus, like that whole kind of class of cars was like really intriguing to me, like growing up.
I will also say like the Eclipse, like everybody's seen it. We've all seen it like 3 million times. The intro to Need for Speed Underground, where like the Eclipse is getting all the mods put on it.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
also like, first of all, I don't think anybody like, I'm pro everybody to an extent. Female driver in that, like, cause you know it was always like hot chicks, cool cars. That was always like
Yeah.
the early thing. But like the intro in Underground 1 is like she like girl in heels, like pedal to the metal, like tearing it up. We never saw that again.
No.
Never saw that
Oh,
again.
man.
Yeah.
Women, where are you in the car world? We need more of
Need a
you.
little
We need
more.
your support. We need you
The
driving.
Most Wanted, the chick was also
Yeah,
a driver.
Mia. She was an undercover cop.
Yeah, but she could drive too.
She had a
That was
a
like every
red
dude, that was like
RX-8.
every dude's
Yeah,
first
yeah,
yeah.
I
crush.
did. I remember that.
Yeah.
So is
Mia
it
was probably like my first crush.
Colin
Most Wanted,
McRae?
yeah.
Yeah,
Dirt.
it sounds right.
First one is 2007.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That's,
Wow.
That's older than I thought.
2007.
Well, you know, wait, what system though?
What? Doesn't say.
It's probably late PS2, early PS3, because we got PS3 in
2007. Then it jumps to 2015. and
Yeah,
that's
there's a
PS3.
huge gap.
Oh,
That's the
wow.
one I remember was Dirt Rally in 2015. But yeah.
You remember Most Wanted 2015?
Yeah.
No, it's 2012.
Oh, was it
20,
still? Yeah, the
I know
20
which one
yeah,
you're
the
talking about,
2012
yeah.
one.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Hot take. Most Wanted 2012.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
It could, if it stood on its own, if it's like every modern SUV using an old nameplate from like the new Eclipse Cross and like
Yeah.
you know stuff like that. I feel like that's literally like Most Wanted 2012. Like on their own, yeah, this is an okay game. This is an
Yeah.
okay car.
Remember when they turned Need for Speed the game into a movie?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
What was
yeah.
your take on that movie?
You want to know something really funny,
I like
Max?
that movie.
When I was probably 7 years old or something like that, I wrote like an entire letter, and I'm so serious.
Please let me be in the movie.
I wrote no. This was way. That movie came out when I was way older. But no, I had written like it's like 7 or 8 years old. I had like a full blown like movie plot and script for like the Need for Speed movie, you know.
Damn.
And it was and like I had
They
like
didn't even pay you. They didn't even get paid.
It wasn't-
I never mailed it in.
Where's
'cause-
the check?
Because this was like pre-internet where you could just look up addresses to anything, and you know your parents are always like, "Oh, that's cool," you know. But I'm like, no, I need addresses. I
Yeah.
need like places. I was always trying to do it big, even as a kid.
It wasn't in
Um,
MLA format. That's why they didn't
Right.
take it.
That's why. Yeah.
It's all like line papers all crumpled up.
Exactly.
There was a couple tears on it, but no, like I totally like I was for the Need for Speed movie before the Need for Speed movie was the Need for Speed movie. I liked it. Because like I'm a real car guy and cars are expensive. They had to use a lot of fake cars for that movie. So they
Yeah.
use a lot of fake Koenigsegg's, a lot of fake other cars. We did a podcast on car movies, and like that movie, I feel like the movie didn't even come up in conversation because it's so far out of my mind. I don't think I ever sat down and watched the whole movie either.
I think it's free on YouTube. You can like
I
watch
guess-
it right now. It's free.
Which one? Need for Speed?
Yeah, the whole movie.
Yeah,
That-
it's on
I
there,
love that
on
movie.
YouTube.
Like
I
that
like
got
that
me into
movie.
Lincoln Park. They played Roads Untraveled at the end.
and Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg. I didn't even know
the
what it
cars
was.
were cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sesto
yeah, it was
Memento.
awesome.
So My first Koenigsegg,
Shelby.
the first time I saw one was actually in Need for Speed Carbon. So I got Need for Speed Carbon 1 year for Christmas, like when it first came out, like late PlayStation 2. And I got the collector's edition, so it came with 2 discs, came with like a DVD disc, show how they did all of like the real people in the video game filming for Most Wanted and Carbon. And one of the special cars in that game was a Koenigsegg CCX. They had like an orange one and a black one. And that was like the very first time I ever saw one. And that's like when I fell in love with it. And then again in Redline. Have you guys ever seen Redline?
No.
We're going to watch it.
Yeah.
It's a really cringy car movie, but it's great.
Yeah,
Can't be
I've
worse
seen
than
it on
Born
like
to Race.
Born to
Online,
Race.
yeah.
Dude, I love that movie, bro. I used to watch that when I was
40 in high school. It's crazy.
I always thought the bad dude. Sorry, this is off topic.
No,
I know
it's
we're talking
cool.
about video games, but the bad dude with the Mustang. I thought that Mustang was like so cool.
Yeah.
What kind of Mustang was it?
It was the
the-
like the 2013.
the one you were
Okay.
mentioning.
something.
Not
No, it was the
the-
one after that.
The one after.
Yeah, it was like 2013.
20
But he had like the big fog lights. Or just like
No,
looked
that's
super
5
scary.
to 09. Or 5
The
to...
one in Born to Race. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it?
It's not the 05 where it's
No, I
like
don't
kind
think-
of
no,
like
it's not.
skinny. It's the one right after where it's a little bubblier.
Oh, then yeah, it's 10 to 13.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one,
or 10 to 14.
I guess to tie in the video games, the movies that are going hand in hand with the video games and that whole like car up era
Mm-hmm.
from all of the games, all the movies, all the stuff. What was like as soon as I get a license, I'm gonna get this car. This is gonna be like my first car, man. Like I need this kind of thing. I guarantee you it's not as stupid as mine. So-
I mean, I watched a ton of Top Gear. I'm sure you guys all did too, but I really wanted a McLaren 12C like after that episode. It was so cool.
first car.
It had the wing. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it had
yeah,
the wing
first
that
car.
came up during braking. I knew it wouldn't be my first car, but I always wanted one. since then.
Obtainable first car based
Yeah.
on car video games. I wanted an RX-8 so bad. And they were even $2,000 back then.
the Shinka.
Yeah, I wanted an RX-8 so bad. I still need to buy one. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you one.
I think mine was. It was the GSX.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling my dad I wanted one so much, where he was like, "Okay, I'll get you one," but not knowing that car was like
Not
probably
cool.
less than like $5,000 at the time. So he
Right.
was like, "Oh yeah, we'll get you a GSX. Remember that. Don't change it. You can't change it."
I still really want one. Like because in Underground, like the Eclipse, like that was like the main car in the intro, and it was like one of the better performing cars in the game. But I wanted a GSX so bad, and I remember I went to Autorama one time in Detroit, and a dude was selling like his fully modded out GSX, and it was like I think wanted like $20,000 for it, and I was like trying everything in my power. I was like, Dad, I gotta have this car. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell like my kidney or something. I must have this GSX. It was such a cool car.
It was cool.
People bring back Eclipse GSX to the Cars and Coffee. We'll be money in hand.
My cousin that I bought the Chevelle off of, his first car was a white anniversary GSX with
Oh my
white
God.
on white wheels.
That's
that
sick.
was his first car.
That's
That's
cool.
it.
Lucky guy. I was so obsessed with the DeLorean. It's the stupidest thing ever. I would
that's-
buy one right now. I would not buy one.
What video game was the DeLorean actually in? It was in Gran Turismo.
Video
It was in
It was in
Gran
Gran Turismo
Turismo,
4.
and it was the movie.
Obviously,
Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted it so bad that I had this like deal worked out where if I got
Mm-hmm.
straight A's, like my freshman year of high school,
Mm-hmm.
that they would help me go halves with the DeLorean.
Uh-huh.
I got F's, but you know,
Oh, man.
I'm kind of glad it happened because
well.
it probably would have been really stupid showing up to high school and like the
The
door won't
DeLorean.
stay up because the strut
Oh,
doesn't, you know.
Well, it would have been, you know, you might have got a good DeLorean. No, cars and movies definitely go hand in hand. So there are a couple of movies that then had video games that were bad. Pretty much all of the Fast and the Furious video
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
except for the Tokyo Drift. The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift video game. You want to talk about some of the sickest Japanese punk rock? Like, oh my, like if it's like when it's like Lemon Drop Kicks is one of the songs. I'll never forget that song. And it was really cool because like in that game you would pull up to like meets and then you like challenge all of the like different people at meets. Also the customization in that game was sick.
I've never played the Need for Speed. Fast and Furious video games. I didn't even know they had them, to be honest.
That was the only one
don't
I
think
played,
I
and I
played
think
that.
that was like the
I
only
played
one.
like
they-
the arcade ones.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Fast
yeah.
and Furious
Yeah.
arcade games.
Yeah.
No, that one like you had like drift battles, you had grip battles, you had like uphill. It was very like Initial D video gamey, but like with the Fast and the Furious touch.
Yeah, I think the more they made movies, the more they stepped away from the whole like car culture thing, and then that probably like impacted the video game.
It did.
Yeah.
So like
So,
eventually, video games like all the later Need for Speeds like.
That's
from-
probably why Tokyo Drift, like, as you said, was a good game,
Right.
Because it like that whole movie almost like was surrounded in car
Yeah,
culture.
because even the Need for Speed started to do a Fast and the Furious. Like they.
What's the newest Need for Speed game? Payback, right?
No, Unbound.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it was really short.
When you drift, it has like cartoons coming out.
You can turn it off.
It's so bad though. It's like,
Yeah.
why would you even put that?
They gotta
in there?
appeal to the Gen Alphas, the really, really
No
young
hezzy.
kids, the no
No
hezzy
hezzy.
kids. But no, because Need for Speed, we could just use Need for Speed as a metric because all the other games pretty much they stayed. But Need for Speed went very much the Fast and Furious route because they were very hand in hand in the way that things kind of came out and released. So we had Underground 2. So that was Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious. Then we got Most Wanted. Most Wanted was not quite the Fast and the Furious. We were still like Tokyo Drift. But then like Most Wanted into Carbon. And then after Carbon, Need for Speed had they had a shift to like literally Need for Speed Shift. But before we got Shift, we got Pro
Was
Street.
Shift the motorsport game
Yes.
with the E92 on the cover?
Yes.
Okay, I played that a lot.
Yeah. Which
That's
was
what
probably
that game was. What got me into like racing. I was always into like cars and stuff, but like Shift was like.
because this was when everybody was trying to make a simulator. This is when Forza tried to get more realistic. Gran Turismo was already going ham.
Yeah.
Need for Speed were like, yeah, we want to cut of this. So then they made Pro Street. Then we got Shift 1, Shift 2. And then we started to get into like, okay, maybe let's go back to our roots. So then we got Most Wanted. Then we got we got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit like
Hot
for
Pursuit,
PS3.
yeah.
So then we're like, okay, supercars and nice locales. You know, movie-esque police chases. You know, then we got like, what went after that? Then we got like Need for Speed Most Wanted, the remake, and it's like once again big police chases. Like, but then it's like police chases with nice cars and like city locale, good music. Then we got like Need for Speed 2015, and like then we started to get into like Payback, and Need for Speed Payback is pretty much like a glorified Fast and the Furious like heist, stealing cars, big action. There's some other Need for Speeds in there.
Video game that was also a movie that probably like had an impact on my whole like car whatever thing was Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the Transformers
The
game.
movies and the game.
I
I was like, I want to
vaguely
drive
remember the
Bumblebee,
game.
the Camaro,
Yeah,
the yellow Camaro. That's what I wanted to drive.
I
and
can't
thought
tell
it was
you
super
how many
cool.
car games I bought that were probably like really, or games just in general I bought just to drive the cars in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
so many
Yeah, for
games,
sure.
I was like, oh, there's a car in there. I'm gonna drive that,
Yeah.
like all the time.
No, but Transformers was always good with like picking like cool cars. And,
They'd always pick like concept cars too.
yeah, like a
Like,
Stingray
oh, this
or
is the
something.
next like this coming out. And this guy just transformed
the early
into it.
Transformers movies had a partnership with General Motors, so that's how
Yeah.
they got all those
They got, like,
cars.
cool cars. Yeah.
But I remember I went to go see the very first Transformers at the Rensen, which is like the big GM like towers in Detroit. It was really cool.
Sick.
But yes, video games, cars, it's all come full circle. Now we're all adults. Now we're all driving something.
Now
out of
we're
a video
trying to
game.
do it. In
Yeah.
We're
real
trying to
life.
do it. Everybody's trying to
Yeah.
do it in real life.
Yeah.
Safely, unsafely, you know, at the racetrack. I mean, Gran Turismo was the pioneer of putting kids into seats, you know, well, adults, young adults, you know, with GT Academy. You know, that was a huge stepping stone for video games and really like doing
And then
something.
they made a movie about it.
Yeah, the Gran
Yeah.
Turismo movie.
Yeah.
We're like subliminally trained to like go fast.
Pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah.
They just
yeah.
need to remove speed limits and we'll just have, you know,
Absolutely,
crazy
yeah.
cop chases every
We
day.
need an autobahn in
We
California.
do
Yeah.
from
No.
SF
Turn
to
I-5
LA.
into
probably.
And stuff to LA Autobahn,
Yeah.
that'd
Oh,
be
man.
pretty sick.
Get there in
That
like
would be
2.5
sick.
hours.
I'd be
Yeah.
there pretty quick.
You know what? Honestly, it probably would be gridlock traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
still somehow.
One Tesla would break, and then that would be it.
The problem is we need the Autobahn, but we need the Autobahn rules, and we need people to actually follow those
Yeah.
rules
Yeah.
for it to
That
work
one's
properly.
tough, huh? Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
make people
That's
follow
tough.
rules.
People
yeah.
like riding that left lane.
Oh yeah.
Riding that left lane. I can't drive on the shoulder like I can in the Need for Speed games. I have blown out tires and maybe lose my driver's license.
Yeah.
You know?
This is true.
Yes. Well, that was a fun one.
Yeah,
That was cool.
that was nice.
We'll have to do this
I didn't
again.
think I was gonna have too much to talk about in terms of video games, but
No, there's plenty. I mean, we've all played
Once
a
you
game.
deep dive, you
Yeah, you
remember
start
like,
remembering,
I remember I
wow,
drove this
yeah.
car.
Yeah, just so many. There's so many other games I could even talk about. There's hundreds of car games, but we will wrap it up. It's been fun. I'll bring you guys back on. We'll pick an even crazier topic. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about cars and coffee culture and how kids are.
Oh, perfect.
how the kids
Yeah,
are
that's changed.
now.
How the kids, us, we the people, because we are the kids.
Yeah, that's true.
There's plenty to talk
We
about
are.
there.
But there are some others our age who I feel didn't get.
Yeah.
There's a
same.
fork in the road where you make a left towards things that we're probably into.
I don't
and
know.
you
I
make a
still
right.
want underglow
Oh, yeah,
on my
yeah.
car. I will forever want underglow on my car because of the video games.
Agreed. Depending on the car, but yeah, agreed.
I put it on everything. I put it on anything.
Underglow on a Model S or something.
Oh, yeah.
That actually probably would work. 'Cause
Maybe
it's
not
electric,
anything.
So I guess it would work. Yeah.
Yeah, batteries.
Yeah.
All right, what's our quote for the show?
What was your last quote?
No hesi. No.
That was your last quote. Was no hesitation.
What does that mean?
No
No
hesitation.
hesitation.
Oh
When
Lord.
you see a gap, you just
You just go for it.
can't hezzy or you crash probably.
I'm gonna
so
insert
dumb.
like a clip of
Oh my
like
God.
Burnout Paradise, which
Yeah,
we didn't even
yeah,
get to
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about,
that one.
and the car literally just exploding. Like, you just missed the gap. The slow mo cam
Quote.
starts.
Yeah.
It's like
What
this
was
is
the cops called again in Most Wanted? Rockport.
That was the
I think
city.
it was Rockport.
It was
Police.
Rockport. It was Rockport PD.
Yeah.
Don't
RPD.
get caught by Rockport PD.
Don't.
Don't get caught.
Or they'll key your E46.
Or they'll
Yeah.
key your
They don't
E46.
mess
Don't
around.
get caught
Yeah.
by Rockport PD, aka GSP.
GSP
Make
on
sure the
steroids.
tune is good. That you hit up your local shop and got all of your mods. Got your stage 3
Yeah.
turbo.
Yeah.
Your stage 2 powertrain, and you pay all your credits for it. Don't get caught by GSP. All right. Bye, guys.
So.